Okay, so I'm here right now with a man that's got multiple millions of views on his videos on social media. Danyl Goodall, who's done some work for me, he's done work for lots of other people, he's produced music videos. So when I say he's got millions of views, they're not millions of views with him in them. He's responsible for the creative. He's the guy behind the camera making those videos pop. And so I figured, while he was here with me and we're working on some stuff, I'd try and get a few tips from him to help you with your own video content creation. So Dan, someone that's new to video content creation or even been doing it for a while, trying to produce it for their own business, what would your number one tip to them be?
I'd say to concentrate on one topic at a time per video. Very often you find that everyone's trying to get so much into one piece of content that it ends up just diluting the overall message. So I'd say just to really, once you go through that ideation process, just be really sure about what you're trying to achieve with the outcome. And then even though it's only one tip, I'd say one other thing to also be conscious of is that you got to be really patient. You have to water the plant every day, and then you have a forest. It doesn't come overnight. So just be patient and just keep turning up every day.
So I think what you're trying to say there is you don't get 1 million views on your first video.
Oh, definitely. I mean, I'm not saying it's impossible, but what I'm saying is that you shouldn't expect it.
Yeah, sure, because in reality, right, the more you do, the better you get at what you do, the more you work out what resonates with your audience, the more you can make changes to fit that audience.
For sure. It's all about iteration, really, more than anything else. I mean, definitely innovate, but the more you do it, the better you're going to get. It's a process.
And you mentioned focus there.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't use the word focus, you said one topic, but I think that's what you mean, right? So
sure.
Make sure what you do is super focused on that one thing in that one moment. Mm-hmm. Would you have any tips in terms of things like, video length?
It really depends on what your demographic is. I mean, millennials like myself, we don't have the best attention span, so I'd probably say keep it short and sweet. But yeah, I'd say for a vlog, 10 minutes is generally a good length. For a more of an informative kind of piece, I'd say 2 minutes, 5 minutes absolute maximum. But again, the best thing to do is just to keep going, keep trying different things, and then just go off of the data. So once you find something that works, then really just own it.
And how important would you say editing is? Because I know from some of the videos you've done for me and some of the stuff I've seen you've done for other people, you quite often do quite a lot of editing, and I see you doing this jump cut thing that I know is quite popular with the younger generation. I'm going to be honest and say sometimes when I watch things with lots of jump cuts, I just find it distracting.
Sure.
But how important would you say choosing an edit style and kind of congruency and consistency is with that, or would you mix it up? What would your advice be?
I'd say editing is massively important, especially if you're not necessarily sure what's going to happen. Because I mean, there's certain times where it's lovely to turn up and you have a storyboard and everything just be cut and pasted in that respect. But editing is really creating a narrative out of whatever you've documented, so it's a really important process. And to the second part of your question in terms of having a style, if you can get really good inside of the editing process and create your own aesthetic that feels familiar, one of the things that I'm really starting to become proud of is the fact that I actually have my own style now. When you see one of my visuals, you have a sense of without even seeing my name on it, I made it because there's elements and nuances in there that you're okay, that has to be Danyl, and if it's not, it's someone's emulating it, which is also nice to see. So it's really cool.
Cool. And just trying to think if there's any other little. If I asked you for one other little tip, someone that's new, doesn't have fancy equipment or whatever, have you got any tip for someone that's just trying to make video, for example, with one of these? All they've got is their iPhone or their Android phone or something. They're new to the video game. They're maybe a bit scared of getting on camera, but need to get started. What would your advice be there?
I'd say don't worry so much about how it looks, worry more about how it sounds. Audio is hands down the most important thing. I mean, don't get me wrong, if it's in someone's Facebook timeline nowadays, it needs to be visually pleasing for sure. But I mean, once you have their attention, it's more about what you're saying and the content delivering there, so make sure the audio is good. And one other thing I'd say is just do it first and then review it. Don't kind of go and then keep watching it back. Just kind of get through the video, and then in the editor you'll be able to start really cut and paste something and make something that's consumable. And then once you've done that, you have the privilege of hindsight and I did that different. Well, do it different next time. So just get to the end of the video, and even if that one doesn't work, you can scrap it and start again. It's all a matter of time, really.
Coulson. Coulson? There you go, just creating a new word. I was trying to say awesome. Thanks for your tips and stuff, and I'm sure that like some of the people watching this are going to want more from you at some point in the future, so I'm sure we'll have you back in as you're part of our team, but you and me need to carry on with what we're supposed to be doing and not this like silly playing with two cameras thing. Awesome. So let's turn it off and get on with some work.
Alright, sweet. See you later, guys.